The Vancouver Canucks make a shocking trade by sending a fan favorite goaltender in Arturs Silvos to the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for a former first round pick and draft capital. We're going to break down everything you need to know on this trade, including quotes from Patrik Allvin, what the Canucks got in return, and how this has implications on the future of this team, and so much more. But with that, let's just hop straight into this, where we did get breaking news. The Vancouver Canucks traded Arturs Silvos to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Chase Stillman and a 2027 fourth round pick. Now, this was a trade that a lot of people might have seen coming, but I still think this was a trade the Canucks shouldn't have done. You're moving on from a goaltender in Silvos that was just a Calder MVP, winning the Abbotsford Canucks their first Calder championship, and a goaltender that was outstanding for the Canucks just 2 years ago in the postseason. Now, looking at this, Patrik Allvin did speak on the trade. He went in to say, "We would like to thank Arturs for everything he has done for the hockey club, including helping Abbotsford win their Calder Cup. We wanted to give him an opportunity elsewhere, as we feel we are very well positioned in goal at the NHL, AHL, and development level. Acquiring a future pick and a depth forward will add to our organizational depth." Now, this, like I said, is a trade that I'm not a super big fan of. This is a trade that, yes, a lot of people seen coming, but you're moving out a goaltender that was just phenomenal. The best goaltender in the AHL. Yes, the Canucks have a lot of depth pieces, which we will touch on shortly, but Silvos seemed poised to make the jump to the NHL in the next year or two, and it seems like this is going to happen with the Penguins, and we're praying he does not go off. Now, with this, listen, I love Silvos. I want to see him do well, but coming off this with the Canucks, we know Silvos was very good, but he is an RFA at the end of the season. Now, with Silvos coming in, he was signed to his 2-year extension, $850K per year. So with the Canucks, they're really going out to look at this as a, hey, he does not have room to grow within this organization. We know they recently just went out to sign Alexei Medvedev, who was their second round pick in this past draft. We see Ty Young, Yuri Patera, Tolopilo were all big pieces for this Canucks team in Abbotsford last season. So it seems with the pipeline slowly filling out at the goaltender position, we lost a spot for Silvos within this lineup, and it sucks. It's really hard to swallow. I mean, we've seen how good Silvos has been just at 24 years old, but looking at his trophy cabinet, a World Championship bronze medal, a best goalie MVP during the World Championship, Calder Cup MVP, 5 NHL playoff wins, 6 all-time for the Canucks. This is a goaltender that has a very bright future in the NHL. I do understand having to move out pieces of where you're filled up on. I mean, defense, we know the Canucks have too many at the moment. I shouldn't say too many, but the thing is with Silvos, this trade hurts. The Artie Party is no longer in Abbotsford or part of this Canucks organization. We're going to get straight in to the pieces they got back, but Canucks fans, what is your overall thoughts on this trade? I know Allvin has been very going out and adding at every position, but it seems like a move that could hurt the Canucks in the future, especially if Thatcher Demko cannot stay healthy next season. What are you guys' thoughts on all this? But going into the second half of this, we know the Canucks got 2 things back, headlined by Chase Stillman, a former first round pick by the New Jersey Devils. Now, with Stillman, there is a lot to like and a lot to be worried about. Selected in the first round in 2021, 29th overall, Stillman has not really found his footing in the league. Over the past 2 seasons, in 46 games, 9 points. In 19 games, 3 points. A right wing, right-handed shot. Only 22 years old, 6'1", 185 pounds, from St. Louis. He does have room to grow with this organization. He is a former brother of Stillman, who played with the Canucks as well. But the biggest thing with this is you're adding depth at a position the Canucks really need to add depth to. A right winger that has scored 14 goals with the Utah Comets in 23-24. Sorry, it's been one of those days. Stillman does add some value to this team, and he is on the last year of his contract. $863K on the books coming in year 3 of 3, and RFA at the end of this at age 23. So still a lot of room to grow. This is a very high risk, high reward player coming back in this deal, but I think there is some upside. Going into his draft guide, when he was drafted by the New Jersey Devils. Call it motor or energy or engagement or drive, Stillman has it. He's willing to go above and beyond, willing to play whether roles needed to maximize his ability to give the team the win. He knows when to go after to try and retrieve it, and will head to the best areas of the ice to get a scoring chance. Now, with Stillman joining this, he's not going to make an immediate jump into this Canucks roster. We know they have the wings pretty much filled out. If Stillman can play center, there is a possibility that he did join this team. But I do look at this as Patrik Allvin taking a chance on a former first-round pick, a new organization, a team that has a very good development group with Absford that just came off a Calder when Manny Malhotra can develop a player and help a player a lot. We've seen him with Linus Karlsson having an outstanding year. Aatu Räty poised to join the team. Archie Bains having an incredible run. What Manny Malhotra is doing in the AHL does give some work with Stillman, and this is the possibility that he turns into a legitimate middle six or top six winger someday, but he still has a lot to prove at the AHL level. And now going into the second part of this trade, the Vancouver Canucks did acquire a 4th-round pick in 2027. The Canucks didn't have a lot of draft capital over the past couple of seasons. We've seen them draft in the first round, which felt like in forever last season, or this past draft, I should say. Going into this, they do now have 3 4th-round picks. They're lacking a second and a third, but the Canucks are adding some mid-pick value that could come in and work in a decent trade in a couple of seasons. This is where you could attach this 4th-round pick in a bigger trade if you're trying to get a center. But as of this moment, the Canucks are filling out their prospect pool at forward and adding in the position of more draft capital. But going into the future of this team, Stillman making this team out of camp is a very low possibility, but it is very possible. He has been in the league for a couple of years, AHL in all these seasons once again. He is looking for a prove itself season after only scoring 1 goal in 19 games with the Scranton Penguins last season, 9 points in 46 games in the same season with the Comets. But overall, I do kind of like this trade, but not at the expense of Arturs Silvos. Yes, we know with this group, there is a lot that's filled out at the goaltender position. Drafting a goaltender in the second round almost pointed towards the Canucks doing this. But with this team right now, it's going to be very hard for the Canucks to go out and fit Stillman into this lineup. It's going to be interesting what they do with them. I'm guessing a stint in Absford and hopefully a very productive season where we see him grow and grow eventually into an NHL player. But Canucks fans, what is your thoughts on this trade? This was a shocking one to me. I was not expecting this on a Sunday morning coming from Allvin and company. What's your thoughts on this trade? Do you think the Canucks won this? What is your thoughts on Arturs Silvos, the Artie Party, not being a part of this team? Let us know down in the comments. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. If you enjoyed this, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. We're going to be covering everything, including Stillman more in depth and everything else going into next season. You're not going to want to miss it. But I've been your host, Mark Bye, and take care, Canucks fans. This has been a hectic offseason, and I don't think it's slowing down.